Hello, AstonMTBers. I'm going to give you a quick introduction to this Egerie Rad-Stonical replica. It's like second proper day on this bike in Chatel bike park. Can't remember what this red trail's called. Whoa! First time this year. But I rode it last year a few times. Hopefully it's the same. Oh, some stuff's changed. Oh, that's a nice one. Case. Oh yeah! Holy shit, massive double. Oh, just made that one. Right, I'm lost now. Okay, should be going faster. So yeah, what a bike. Absolutely impressed by this so far. Those of you that have been following my other strange bikes, this is basically the same geometry because those other ones are so good. It's not going to change anything. Oh my god, the gears are all over the place. So I just had to get through the crowds at the lift. So yeah, geometry is basically the same as the other bikes. I understand now why bike brands are so slow to change things and move forwards, because there's quite a few things I'd like to try out geometry wise, but obviously limited budget, and the other ones is working so well I'm scared to change anything because I'm spending my own money on these things. So yeah, it's a bit scary spending so much money on bikes and taking risks. Yeah, if I was a big bike company I'd be happy to try some more things, but it is what it is. Yeah, get the downsides out of the way first. Loads of chain slap. Yeah, loads of chain slap. Got loads of rubber tape on there. A bit noisy, but that is also compared to the gearbox bike. Ooh. Oh my god, she's greasy. Send it. Right, into bike patrol now. These tracks are a lot more difficult to commentate on than what I'm normally riding. Oh, is that mud? I'm not going in that. The frame is loads stiffer than the other bikes, which is nice in the bike park, but it still retains that nicely damp, oh my god, it's greasy, steel feeling. 490mm chainstays, can't go around corners. Lol. Yeah, it just feels amazing. The chassis stability on this is just another level. Done a bit more work on the suspension, on the fork with the Rulesman. Changing a few settings. Yeah, chassis stability, unreal. But there's no harshness to the frame. Steel frame, no harshness at all. Really nice feeling. I'm really not that interested in riding another alloy or carbon frame again after riding these guys. Because yeah, the feeling of steel is real, it just feels more nicely damped, flexes more nicely. You don't get any like strange flex, kick out, any of that stuff. I think there's a nice shot there. Oh yeah, yeah. And yeah, absolutely beautiful through the rough stuff. Just tracks incredibly well. Take my leg off here. Woo! Leg came off in there. Right, I'm gonna have to do another run. Finish what I was saying. Yeah, chassis stability, insane. Basically, running loads of sag. Like 35% rear sag, just over 20% on the front. But plenty of damping, so sits into the travel nicely. But also, got loads of support, really stable in corners. Stable under braking, loads of pop, massive pop on all the jumps as well due to all the damping support. Right, I'll go up and do another lap. Okay, so as I was saying, loads of sag. It's like 35% rear sag, which is a lot. My hero Nico Villos, who I sort of copied this bike design from, I heard he used to run 40% sometimes. You want more sag because the suspension isn't for absorbing bumps. The suspension's for keeping your wheels in contact with the ground. In a perfect world, keeping your tyre contact patch connected to the ground with the same amount of force all the time, if that makes sense. So as you're going over bumps, in a perfect world, you have the same pressure on the tyre contact patch all the time. Obviously that's impossible, but that's like the goal. So more sag allows the wheels to drop more into holes and keep your tyres connected to the ground more, which is the ultimate goal. But then super low friction, so running coil, rear shock, D80 sign bushings, yeah, custom tuned Novi part shock, extremely low friction but high damping force. Same with the fork, it's tuned Dorado RRT from Rulesman, which is also amazingly low friction. It's had loads of work done on it, so you can sit into the travel nicely. It's really sensitive, there's essentially no harshness, but then again loads of damping support. So under braking, this bike is unbelievable. Under braking, really stable, no chassis pitch. In the berms, really stable again. You can like force it into berms, drive it into berms, and you don't get the chassis moving. And the same with jumps, like really, it feels like the suspension's hardly compressing at all on takeoffs. So it's great in the bike part, great on the smooth stuff, great at high speeds, but also when you're in the rough stuff, it's just eating everything up really well. Until recently, the last couple of years, I've never had suspension like this in my whole life. Since I've been working with Rulesman and NSR, it's just a whole nother level. Yeah, it's amazing what the suspension can do. The suspension, really, once you've got the right size bike and the correct frame geometry, the suspension is the next major thing. It makes such a difference how the bike rides. And yeah, it just rides absolutely amazingly. I think it's got 12% progression rear, which was basically the lowest possible progression we could get with a linkage. The other bikes are essentially linear. It's impossible to have a completely linear bike, but they're very low, like 4 or 6% progression. The titanium bike's actually regressive at the moment. It's like 6% regressive. I don't like a lot of progression anymore. I think it's better to have a more linear bike, so you get more mid-stroke support and to control the bottom out with ample damping. The problem with having a lot of damping is it can cause harshness, but you can
remove the harshness in multiple ways. One, friction, as I mentioned earlier, very, very low friction. Two, you can do things like using a 31.8 flexi bar to reduce hand friction. Hand vibrations. The same, push on grips, don't bother with lock-ons. I've got these ODI long neck waffles, which are great, really absorptive. And then getting your tyre pressures right, and the spoke tensions are also quite low on this, so the bike's more compliant. And again, steel frame absorbs a lot of that harsh vibration. So that's what you're looking for. Lots of sag, very low friction, very low vibration, then more damping for support and control in rough sections. A lot of waffling, sorry. I'm gonna get back up to the top. I'm gonna hit those two tracks again and yeah, try and clear the jumps this time. Give you a bit more information about the bike.
Back on track. Those are people standing in the track for some reason. There's an understeer there. It is greasy today. Just the bottom out support is unreal with this suspension. You just don't need any landings, which is great. But yeah, I broke the other two bikes because I kept not bothering with the landings. Well, it's a bit windy. Oh! That's better. Landed on the landing. Ah, the wind. Yeah, the frame's absolutely fantastic. Mega stability, really well damped. Just a lot of chain stuff. A lot stiffer than the other bikes. Better for the bike park. Not as good on the natural. That's strange, the chain slipped off the idler wheel, so that needs to be checked. But it's a complete one-off bike, so I'm not going to be angry, unlike with the Norco. The Norco chain just fell off every 20 seconds, and that was a production bike for a multi-million-dollar bike company. So yeah, it's riding insanely good. It absolutely rips the corners. People say that long bikes don't go around corners, but they ain't rode this one, or they ain't rode a good one. This is some next level shit. The gears are all over the place though. Yeah, the pinion gearbox on the other bike isn't the perfect solution, but I've never had to tune the gears on the pinion ever. These are working perfectly for a couple of runs. No, they're not. They're all over the place now. Oh my god! Landed in a massive hole then. And the fork just ate it. So am I lost in the boat? Yeah, through these roots and stuff. Insane, absolutely just floats over them. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, the small bump sensitivity and the vibration sensitivity is insane. Hey, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this chain says like 5'10" looks like, and these are probably the tightest corners in the bike park. Woo! Yeah, didn't do that one very good. It's just ripping. I'm not ripping, I'm talking too much. Yeah, what an absolute beast of a bike, better than I imagined really. I need to get back on the steel bike. I still feel like the steel bike is the best one so far in terms of frame, compliance, flex. This one's a bit too stiff for me, and the titanium one's a little bit flexy. Yeah, it's just insane. It's hard to describe, really hard to describe how good it is. The build pack's really nice. These, oh my god! Yeah, so if you do this lying, which is blind, you've got to be on the top of that log, not riding down here like a lot of other people. Oh. So yeah, the build kit's great. It's oh, massive woody in my pedal. Yeah, these long neck grips are great. These might be my new favourite grip, especially for the Porte de Soleil. In the constant vibration bumps, really forgiving. Alloy SQ Blood Bar, my favourite. Wolfsman's short stem, handlebar clamp, incredible suspension, just standard wheels, 25mm, Michelin tyres. I need to review these. Absolutely great. Michelin tyres are absolutely great if you're pushing really hard. If you're not pushing hard, too square. So there you go, just another quick waffle video about the bike. Absolutely insane, just loving it. Does everything that you want. Loads of sag, loads of grip, no harshness, amazing in the steep stuff, amazing on tight corners. Yeah, long chainstays don't go around corners. I've never been around corners so good in my life as on these 3 custom bikes that I've got, which are the longest bikes ever made. I'm pretty sure this is the joint second longest mountain bike ever produced. Yeah, absolute beast, absolutely can't believe it. So happy I bought this custom bike from Egerie instead of anything production, because I'm gonna say this is better than any production bike on the market. If any brand's got one that they think might compare, get in touch and send me one, I'll test it for you. I don't want to buy any more bikes because I keep breaking them. So if any brand's got a bike that they think it can last more than 6 months of actual mountain biking, get in touch. Maybe Commensal want to send the new Supreme V5. Yeah, enough waffle, thank you, see you next time.